Silent mist covers the Cordilleras, the mystic mountain ranges of the Philippines' middle north. In this stillness, indigenous communities thrive in relative seclusion, separated by mountain walls from the rest of the populace, successfully preserving their culture for more than a couple of millennia. They remain steadfast to their ancestors' ways. Rituals of spiritual and social importance are religiously observed, accompanied by idiosyncratic sounds of highland gongs and wooden instruments. The beat progresses in alternating staccato, abrupt chops of palm against brass, the resulting rhythm reflecting the image of jagged surfaces, peaks rising one after the other. And then, again, silence. Another sound rises slowly, this time capturing the ethereal nature of the Cordillera mist. Fluidly, as clouds caress stretches of virgin forests, the words of storytellers spring forth. The head chanter is leading the women in singing the hudhud. The hudhud is a large collection of extended chanting pieces, epic narrations of the lives of the local heroes who are, like them, governed by the dawning and setting of the harvest sun. It has captured the ears of the international community. The UNESCO has declared it a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity, one of the very few in the world. Harvest, planting, love, friendship. The hudhud is an episodic telling, recounting the best traits of the IFUGAO, the most documented indigenous group of the Philippines. The hudhud is sung to break the monotony during funeral wakes and during key celebrations in the farming cycle. By tradition, it is sung by women, and they are held in high esteem as historians and preachers. A complete retelling would span 3 to 4 days, especially because there is a constant repetition of lines, names, and places detailing every step of the hero's adventure for the day. The songs have spanned thousands of years, as old as the rows of stone walls that surround these chanters. These walls are fortifications of the diplomatic kind, that which has given life to generations of highlanders otherwise unable to utilize the unforgiving terrain of the land for the cultivation of their precious staple, rice. It is widely believed that the culture of terracing came to the Philippines through the migration of peoples from southern China and Indochina. These groups went as far down as Java and the lesser Sunda Islands. Hence, terracing is found throughout Southeast Asia as a highly effective means of farming around slopes. Yet, in this region, no one comes close to the prominence deserved by the IFUGAO, builders of the most extensive and best-built network of rice terraces in the planet. Magnitude is the oft-repeated term in written accounts about the IFUGAO rice terraces. Like the way the UNESCO bestowed a claim on their hudhud epics, international groups have named this IFUGAO achievement a marvel of ancient civil engineering. Irrigation, the main requirement of rice cultivation, is where the genius of the forefathers comes into play. The terraces, which they have carved out of terra firma, using only the most primitive of tools, catch water streaming down from a generous source at the peaks. This is then channeled through canals, uniformly irrigating each terrace from the topmost to the last at the valley below. The terraces bear witness to an ancient wisdom, best illustrated by how IFUGAO smashed huge rocks way before the age of machines and juggernauts. They placed a colossal boulder in a manageable stance and subjected to intense heat, fire above and fire beneath. The rock smolders, and in an exact moment they pour cold water above it, that which comes from the chilly springs around the mountainsides. With a sudden change of temperature, the boulder crumbles. Then they transport the rocks through river courses, and then, slowly, patiently, they carry all these up the steep inclines, terrace by terrace, slope by slope. Their efforts extended over thousands of years, bringing us the world wonder that we see today. IFUGAO, once just an encompassing term for the different tribes that built these terraces, is now a proud province in northern Philippines with a history shaped by its immediate geography. The name comes from Ipugo, with the prefix E denoting people and Pugo meaning hill. IFUGAO, an Americanized deviation, primarily meant people of the hills. The Americans established a solid presence in the territory in the rising years of their penetration of the Cordilleras, a feat which the Spanish conquistadors failed to achieve in the face of fierce resistance from the region's warrior tribes. The Americans built schools to educate their so-called uncivilized brown brothers, and in no time, the natives became what present-day intellectuals would call the Americanized Cordilleran. Funny how these turn-of-the-century Yankees once dubbed the now world-renowned masters of upland terracing uncivilized. Still, as history would unfold, the modern IFUGAO became more fluent in English than in Filipino, the country's national language.
Your restart already?
This westernization of the Cordillerans, and the IFUGAO in particular, continues to this day. The proud G-string wearing image of these people has been replaced by the leather jacket-clad, denim-garbed global native. Many are lured to the metropolitan life in the lowlands, abandoning their mountain communities and thus abandoning their indigenous lifestyle as well. Occurring parallel to this erosion of the IFUGAO cultural backbone is the physical, albeit symbolic, erosion of the rice terraces. As a growing number of IFUGAO leave for the bigger cities, maintenance work for the terraces fell on fewer shoulders. The IFUGAO rice terraces is the work of generations of hands, one of the rare megastructures of the old world that never espoused forced labor and still remains a living and breathing source of sustenance for the IFUGAO up to this very day. But with this dwindling number of able hands dedicated to its preservation, the great terraces are facing the biggest problem of their entire existence.